Hello, listener. This is my Info 303 podcast session on what I reviewed when I went to the podcast session in the Ike. So, to start here, just with the review of the key ideas that I learned. First things first, the whole presentation more or less covered how to have a successful podcast and how to make it successful and kind of to learn from the speaker's point of view and their experiences. So the review of key ideas that they had for here is first find something interesting to talk about for a podcast. And the thing that they really talked about was this can change person to person. Was interesting to me, might not be interesting for something else. But really, what you want to do is find something that you think you can have a conversation about. One example that she said is that, it would be hard to have a podcast about knitting, but there are a million knitting podcasts out there. So it's just something that's interesting to you, something that you can talk about for a very long time. The second point that they talked about is always having a script. They want you to be conversational, but also have a plan, and not to go in without a plan because then you're just rattling. Finally, they say it will take you time to get your groove and get editing down. Don't try to rush through the process and understand things take time. Finally, is that use as much free software or materials as possible. This was put on by the President Hall Libraries. So they were talking about all the materials that they have that they can give us, and just other such things like that. So you want to use as much free software as possible. Now to continue to apply how I can apply these ideas to my projects. You know, I can write out a better script. Most of the times I've gone in pretty cold recording these major products or podcasts because I don't have a script. So going forward, I should have a better script, and it would really cut down the time that I spend editing and trying to go through my work. Another thing that I can do is to use Audacity's free software that I can use to better edit my files, and it can also kill all the background noise. And then finally, I actually have used both these ideas for this short presentation. So thank you for listening, and that is kind of the review of my key ideas and how I can apply them to my project going forward.